Hello and welcome to Silly Point. New year, new show. We've been away for a while taking a seasonal break. So officially you can say this is our second season, episode 1, 2021. Hopefully it'll be better than 2020 with some fans involved in the cricket. Otherwise, you will keep seeing us more and more on Silly Point.
The lockdown is helping or not helping,
Yeah.
however you want to look at it. We've got more time now, so you'll see more Silly Point episodes coming out at least for the next couple of months.
And there's lots and lots of cricket going on as well.
Yeah,
So
certainly.
there's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
So today we'll talk about the disappointing New Zealand-Pakistan series. Well, disappointing from a Pakistani fan's perspective,
Well,
but
even from a
also
neutral,
from an Indian fan's perspective.
yeah, even I was going to say, even from a neutral perspective,
Yeah,
it's great that New Zealand are doing so well, but it's so one-sided, right? It's no fun to watch.
yeah. Well, from the perspective of the World Test Championship, also, if you're an
Yes, of
Indian
course.
fan, the rare moment
Yeah.
when Indians were probably supporting Pakistan to win or draw because that might have helped them qualify for the WTC
Yeah,
final.
yeah. I
But
did I did mention, whenever we've talked about New Zealand and their test series, I did mention that they will be in a different kind of mood because they know they've got a good chance to qualify. India
yeah,
have got India have still got another tough series coming up. They might lose this one the way it's going, and then they've got another tough series coming up against England at home though.
yeah,
I think tough for India. New Zealand seem to be in a good position to make the final with Australia.
yeah. I mean, it's slightly unfair, I have to say, because the way they've done the championship by giving weightage to equal weightage to series.
Yeah,
Like New Zealand have had 3 home series of 2 test matches each, and they've won all of them 2-0, 2-0,
yeah,
2-0.
yeah.
Whereas if you see
True.
like the India Australia series, for example, India had a poor first test and then they've come back well in
Yeah,
the second test. So a 2 test series doesn't really give a team the chance to come back, right?
I
So it's
agree.
game overall, and you get like 60 points for winning one game. So
Yeah, it's a very, very useless system. Maybe we
yeah.
can do another episode on the World Test Championship and how the ICC can improve it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, there needs to be some consistency. At least have minimum of 3 test match series. It doesn't really
Yeah,
make sense
yeah,
having 2 test series.
agreed,
But
agreed.
anyways, that's it. That's a debate for another day. Today we're going to focus on New Zealand, Pakistan, the usual player ratings coming up. What we think went wrong, what we think Pakistan could have done better. So let's just get straight into it, I guess.
Yeah, and just to let everyone know, we're looking at both the Test matches. We're looking at the
Yeah,
rating
the
players
full series.
based on their series performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So
Should we start with? Should we? Who should we start with? I think either way, it's going to be easy. New Zealand easy, Pakistan easy.
let's start with Pakistan.
Okay, cool.
Let's start with the losing team.
Okay.
And let's go in batting order.
Shan Masood,
As Shan Masood 0.
0. Let me just say that Shaheen Shah Afridi, Neil Wagner, and Naseem Shah have scored more runs than Shan Masood in this series.
Neil Wagner only played 1 test match with half a toe. So
Yeah, with, well, 2 toes, right? He fractured 2 toes.
yeah,
So, maybe like 4 toes in total. Yeah,
ridiculous.
so Shan Masood,
Yeah,
0.
since that 150 he got against England, his average is 4.5 or even worse, I think.
Which is
So
pretty bad. Yeah.
horrible. His highest score in the series was 5.
0. 0.
0 for him.
Abid
Abid Ali
Ali,
slightly better.
yeah,
He got a couple of starts, I think a couple of 20s, which I guess took the shine of the new ball.
yeah.
Did the bare minimum, but I can't give him more than a 3 as well. I mean, didn't
I
do really.
agree. I agree. I mean, the great thing is that he faced a lot of balls,
Yeah,
which obviously is a good sign for Pakistan. He doesn't look out of place playing in New Zealand, which is a big thing in a
yeah,
test match. So yeah, three seems reasonable for him.
yeah. Azer Ali, one good innings.
Yeah,
He got a good 90 odd in the
yeah,
second test match. Gave Pakistan some sort of, the only game that Pakistan had a chance to make some inroads was the first day and a half of the second test where you felt
yeah,
Pakistan were in the game,
yeah,
and Azer Ali had a big part to play in that. So
yeah,
I'd give him 5. I think just a
yeah,
generous 5, but
yeah. 5.
I mean, he didn't do much in the other innings. He got a couple of 20s and stuff.
Yeah,
He got 30, he got the 38, 39 in the second innings of the first test.
yeah.
but yeah, not more than a 5 for me.
Not, yeah, 5, agreed on 5. Then we have
Haris Sohail.
Haris Sohail. I mean, I've for me, Haris Sohail is not a test match player overseas.
Yeah,
In
he was
Pakistan,
he was really poor.
he was really poor. He's going to be found out so often with the short pitch bowling.
Even short pitch, or even like the standard outside off stump ball. I mean, the amount of times you just got like fending at one or just
Fending,
chasing
yeah,
one
yeah,
outside off. It was
yeah.
really poor technique. I mean, I'm not a professional cricketer, so obviously, I mean, but even I know that when you're in New Zealand or in those conditions, you need to let the ball go. And Haris,
I
he just
agree.
seemed like he was playing in Karachi or something, where he's just coming in
Yeah,
and trying
well,
to drive the ball outside off when you have Bolt and Saudi and Jameson bowling at you. You
well.
can't do that.
Again, Kyle Jamieson and Zafar Gohar scored more runs than Haris Sohail. So 0 for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he got a couple of double figures. So I'll give him a 1. Shan Masood is like the absolute floor of the series, so it's 0.
Okay,
So I'll give him a
fine.
1.
So we'll give him
And he
1.
bowled a couple of overs also. Not that he did much, but
Fair enough. And
I'll
then
give him a 1.
Fawad Alam, who was a great story, great
Yeah,
comeback, waited for 11 years and finally got that 100. So I
yeah.
think I'd give him a 5 as well, similar to Azhar.
I give him a 6 just because of it was Fawad Alam. It was 100, not a 90 yard, and he
Yeah,
was. I mean, he because in Pakistan nearly they were about 5 overs away from drawing the first test.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, in terms of quality and then the performance of the team, Pakistan were miles apart, but they
yeah.
might have gotten lucky with that last day of effort,
Yeah.
and all of that is down to Fawad and Rizwan. So I'd give him a 6 for that. Although he
Six.
didn't do much in the rest of the series, but
Yeah,
for that one innings and for the entire story, I guess you just have to give him
a
some
6.
credit. So 6, yeah.
Fair, fair. Moving on to Mohammad Rizwan.
7, I think he was Pakistan's best batsman.
Yeah,
3
agreed.
consecutive 50s. I think it was like
Yeah,
5 50s in a row in Test cricket for him.
in Test cricket. Yep, that's true.
Um, So and he's done well in New Zealand. He did well in Australia. He's done decent in England with the bats. I think now
Yeah,
Rizwan, the batsman, is really trying, showing himself.
yeah.
So
His keeping has also been top notch.
yeah,
Question marks over his captaincy, but
yeah,
he's not the captain. He's the vice captain. So he's got some time to develop his captaincy.
yeah. I mean, a lot. To be honest, I really, and we'll come to it when we come to the bowlers also. There's not much he can do when you have that bowling attack. I mean, Pakistan's bowling attack. They look good. They're young and they're just not good enough, unfortunately. And you're only as good as your team.
As a player. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he missed one review of Williamson, I think, in the first test, which I think cost
yeah.
them. But
But those things happen, right?
yeah,
I think collectively it's the players that have failed him,
yeah,
as opposed to his captaincy per se. But I guess when you're when your fielders are dropping catches as a captain, there's nothing you can do. You can't field for
exactly.
them.
Yeah,
So I guess we would, if Pakistan had won one test match, we would have been saying, oh, great captaincy. He's
exactly.
captaining for the first time. He's done a great job. So not much that we can say on there. But yeah, 7 is a fair score for him.
7 is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Fahim.
Fahim, yeah,
I think
Fahim was a
Pakistan's
revelation.
biggest, yeah, I think he was the biggest success story for Pakistan in this series. Fahim Ashraf in Test match cricket as a batsman as well. He got a couple
Yeah,
of key wickets with the ball.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, he's one of those bowlers who, again, he bowled pretty decent. He got his figures, and obviously his average is like ridiculously high as a bowler,
yeah,
but
yeah,
he bowled decent. He was a good foil. He was the fourth seamer, so he did his job, and very
yeah,
good with the bat also.
yeah.
So
7 or 8.
7 for him as well. Yeah,
7
I
for
think.
him, yeah.
Yeah,
Because Rizwan is he was the fourth highest run scorer in the series
yeah,
and second highest for Pakistan. So,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
which is great. And I know in the past some of our other colleagues have trashed Fahim Ashraf,
Yeah,
but I have personally been a fan of him, and I think he should get more chances for Pakistan. Every team, it's good for teams to have all-rounders, players who can bat and bowl. So
yeah,
Pakistan now have Fahim Ashraf, Imad Wasim, Shadab Khan, and that's a
yeah.
good core of all-rounders to have. So
Yeah, and a good mix depending on conditions. So you've got a left arm spinner, a leg spinner, and a
exactly.
medium pacer. So I think that's a good
Yeah.
good mix.
The only
Um,
the only positive the only positive decision coming from the management of Misbahul Haq and Waqar Yunus
yeah,
picking Fahim Ashraf.
Same Ashraf and him performing. Yeah, for sure. So 7 for him.
Yeah.
Yasir Shah played one game. Nothing exceptional. um, Nothing with the bat, nothing with the ball. Three. He got Williamson's wicket, so that's his only claim to fame.
Uh, I don't know, four, five, four.
Three. I'm thinking more three actually.
Yeah, I think they've now. I think the management has now caught on to the fact that Yasir Shah is not good enough abroad,
Yeah.
and they might move towards different players, different spinners overseas, and when they're playing in Pakistan or in Asia, Yasir Shah
Yeah.
would be your man. I think they've figured that out in this
Yeah.
series.
Or the alternate option,
Zafar.
Zafar Gohar. Nothing at all.
Yeah,
Went for like 160 runs without a wicket. He
yeah,
did. He scored 30 with the bat, which is not bad.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I can't again. For his bowling, probably a zero. For his batting, maybe we gets a two overall.
yeah, yeah. I agree. He was primarily selected for his bowling, um,
Yeah.
and mind you, I don't know how many options are available on the bench for Pakistan. Shadab Khan, being a big miss in the
Yeah.
series, really, but I'm not sure of what other options are there, in the domestic circuit in terms of spinners.
Yeah, I mean they don't have a lot of like white ball options. Oh, sorry, red ball options.
Yeah,
They have quite a few options in white ball cricket. So they've got someone like Usman Kadir or
yeah, yeah,
Imad Wasim.
yeah.
But I think spin options in Test. I mean they had what's the guy who had a suspect action? Bilal Asif.
Bilalas, yeah, I
Yeah,
was going to ask about him off spin.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
Torres.
think he's lost it now a little bit. He's gone
Okay.
off the rack. So like that's also why Yasir Shah keeps getting a chance because there's no one else. Similar to the opening debate, but we will
Yeah,
come to that at the end. What the repercussions are for Pakistan.
yeah,
But anyways, back to Zafar Gore. I think yeah, there isn't. I mean, maybe he just needs a chance, and it's tough for him. He's played all his cricket in Pakistan on turning
yeah,
tracks, and you take him to New Zealand where it's not spinning at all against Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor, and it's difficult, right?
yeah. True.
So yeah, I think I'd give him a two.
So we've got Shaheen
Shaheen
Shah.
Shah probably in terms of wickets, Pakistan's best bowler.
Yeah,
He looked threatening. He started the series very well. He took a wicket in his first over.
yeah,
Actually got two wickets in his first spell. So that was
yeah,
again give Pakistan glimmer of hope before
yeah.
Williamson took it away. So four overall, I guess.
I think both Shaheen Shah Afridi and Mohammad Abbas deserve a four.
Yeah, I mean Abbas
With
again. He
the
bowled really well. His economy was pretty good. He just didn't
phenomenal,
get hit
yeah,
for
yeah.
runs. But then that's the problem. I think the batsmen have found a way to play him. They just bat like 2 feet outside their
But
crease.
but that's his role, right? That his,
Yeah,
his role is where the wicket is giving him something. He extracts that
yeah,
and gets wickets. But where the wicket isn't doing much, then his role is to control the economy,
yeah,
control the runs, and then you've got your attacking options in Shaheen Shah and Naseem Shah. But clearly they are not, the other two
yeah,
attacking options. They're not as experienced. They haven't played much international cricket, and that's where you're seeing the inexperience, I guess.
yeah. I agree with that. So I mean, there's not much more
Yeah.
you can
And
expect.
yeah, Naseem Shah maybe a very high economy of 4.5 runs and over. Only
Yeah,
took four wickets. This is where it comes down to,
yeah,
okay, fine, you've got pace, but then along with that, you need other attributes to
yeah.
support you. You
I
can't
mean, the
just
first test he wasn't even bowling fast. He was bowling at mid 130s. So I don't really know where that came from. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'd go with a two at best. Again, I think
yeah,
he's just too young. He needs more
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
Um,
sure. I mean, I
they should have
guess
tried Sohail Khan in one of the games. I think he's
I agree.
more
In New
experienced.
Zealand, maybe someone like Sohail Khan might be a more attacking option, potentially.
Yeah,
Because if you look at the success Team Saudi has had in New Zealand, Sohail Khan is in a similar mold. He's a swing bowler.
yeah,
Um, and obviously, Babar Azam to come back, that
yeah.
is going to make a big difference,
Of
right?
course, yeah, that was a big
Um,
difference. Yeah.
in terms of openers, I'm not sure who else is out there.
Imam is there, right? Imam
Yeah,
is the
Imam. I
obvious
guess
obvious option.
Imam is the next best option in
Yeah.
place of Shan.
So I mean, it has to be him. I think Imam got injured, so he would have played the second test if he wasn't
I
injured.
think
So I'm
so.
pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
agree. Yeah,
But I think the Sean experiment is done. I mean, the problem now is obviously they go to South Africa. Well, they play South Africa at home on
yeah,
flat pitches, and they might have a good series, and that's them done for the next 2 years. But I think the goodwill that Sean built up after that 150 against England, I think
yeah.
that's all gone.
It's gone. I agree. I agree. Fair enough. So pretty disappointing series there for Pakistan. But like Zaid said, they'll play South Africa at home. and some changes and potentially some good luck.
Yeah. So let's
Cool.
move to New
New Zealand.
Zealand.
Straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Latham and Blundell, right? I think they both had identical series, both scored almost the same amount of runs. You know, they
They
both
both
scored.
are decent. They had stars. They never had kicked on to get a big score, either of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. They both scored a 50 each, right?
Yeah,
So definitely better than Pakistan's openers.
no doubt. No doubt.
So maybe we can go with like a 4 for each of them, 4 or
No, I
5
think
for
slight. I'll give him a 5. I think
5. Yeah, okay,
they
fine.
got
We can go
50s
for
at
a
least.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah. Kane Williamson 10.
10, 10, no
Yeah.
doubt. No,
Even
no,
though
no need
even
to
though
even
he
discuss.
even though there were many dropped catches, and
That's not his
New
fault,
Zealand,
right?
Kane Williamson. Yeah, you can call him Kane New Zealand if you want to, because he epitomizes New Zealand spirit very well. But yeah, I mean, dropped catches. The two
Yeah,
caveats I'll make to his run scoring, we'll give him 10, but two caveats: dropped catches and the fact that he's playing at home. Those are
yeah,
the only two things to consider. He is the number one Test match batsman. Totally
no
agreed.
doubt.
And I think he again will go down in history as one of the best, or the best, New Zealand batsman. And as part of the quartet or triumvirate, if you want to call it, with Root out now, but he will
Yeah,
be considered to be the best batsman of his era. With
for now. Although
with
Smith just got 100 again, so
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same. Smith, Williamson, and Kohli, I think, are in a similar bracket. Root has kind
yeah.
of just fallen out a little bit, but yeah.
And let's see when Babar
Um,
Azam is fit.
yeah, obviously, Babar Azam is inching there. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's
I mean, there's actually a stat I was seeing in the SENA countries for Asian batsmen in the last 2 years. Babar Azam
yeah,
has been number one
number one. Yeah,
in averages, better than Kohli, better than
yeah, yeah,
Sharma, better than
yeah.
in test matches.
In Test matches. Yeah, I know.
Um,
So, like I said, he's coming on there. I
yeah,
think he's probably at par with Joe Root at the moment. You can compare him
yeah,
to Root, but just a few more years of this
yeah.
consistent
He
run.
needs to get those big hundreds, I think, which he still
Yeah,
hasn't gotten.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
big difference.
Those
I
big
agree.
match-winning hundreds, or even those hundreds like Kohli scored, right? He scored.
Yeah,
Virat Kohli in 2014 scored 200s at Adelaide. India lost the
yeah,
game, but then
yeah,
he was commended for his run
yeah.
scoring, and he was captain as well. So that kind of impact, and then you can start considering Babar Azam in the same league.
I agree.
Cool. Number 4 was Ross Taylor. He
Uh,
had one good innings, I guess, similar to Latham and Blundell.
yeah.
So maybe a 5.
6, but he had a very crucial inning. I think that
Yeah,
the first test match, the first session when he came in after 2 down,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was a very crucial 50. So I think I'll give him a 6 for that.
6. Okay, 6. Fair enough.
I mean, to
But
be honest, you can't. He really only had one innings because the second innings of the first test, they were like
yeah,
going, bang bang to just
yeah,
declare. So,
declare. That's true. That's
so
true.
I give him a 6.
6. Fair enough. Henry Nichols, 10, 9.
9. I'll give him a 9. Yeah, I
9.
mean, we got
Fair enough.
a hundred and a crucial 50 as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Cool.
yeah.
9. Um, so who was at 5 then? No,
So Nichols was
Nichols.
at
Nichols
5.
was
So
at
BJ
5.
BJ Watling.
BJ Watling had a per series, right? Um,
Oh no, he got a 70 odd in,
he
in,
got a
in the
70
first
odd, yeah, in the first. He got 70 odd in the first test. Yeah, I guess you could go with a 5 or a 6.
6. I
Good
give
call.
him a 6. Yeah, need decent behind the stumps also.
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah. And then we've got Darryl Mitchell, who scored 100,
9.
100. His average is 0 and his
Yeah.
strike rate is 91. So he
Yeah, you have to give him a 9.
9. And then you had
Mitchell Santner.
Mitchell Satner playing the other test match,
He
right?
had a very crucial part on the final day, right? He took the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
wicket,
exactly.
did his job. So I'd give him a 7.
Yeah, 7, agreed. 7 for that one test match. Um, and then you come to the
The
super
fast
find.
bowlers.
Yeah, you come to the super find in world cricket. Kyle
Kyle
Jamieson.
James, 10.
Yeah, you got to give him a 10, right? Really,
Yeah,
really difficult to face him. I'm sure
yeah,
the Indian batsmen also struggled against him when they played New Zealand. And I think most batsmen are going to struggle given his height and given how
yeah,
good he is at pitching the ball up as well.
exactly. Yeah,
So yeah, superstar in the making. 10 for Kyle Jamieson.
yeah, no doubt. That's a 10. Bold and
And
Saudi, I think it was similar series.
yeah,
They were good in patches. I think Bolt had a couple more wickets, but
yeah,
Saudi had a very good. I think it was the first. It's the first thing to the second Test match. He had a
yeah.
good spell.
What, 6,
Um,
7, 6,
so, I mean, we can't give them 6s, 7s at minimum for
7s?
me.
Fine,
So yeah,
7s.
I mean, I think you have to give Jameson a 10, and the rest were like supporting cast with
Yeah,
with
yeah,
sevens
fair
all
enough.
around.
fair
Maybe
enough.
Matt
So
Henry gets a six because he only played one game and he went for a few runs.
yeah, and he got a wicket. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's go with let's go with six for Matt Henry, and then Neil Wagner. Do we give him like a 10 as well, just for his
effort.
inhumane effort?
Nine maybe. I mean, 10
Nine,
is like
nine.
Jameson level, right? So he took a couple of very crucial wickets with that
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
broken toes and stuff. But
And his
uh,
economy was 2.114.
yeah,
So really low economy as well for the line of attack that he bowls.
yeah,
Right, he keeps bowling short.
yeah.
There's always a chance to go for runs, but somehow or the other, he
He took the
keeps.
crucial wicket of Fawaz Alam, the partnership breaker in the
Yeah, yeah,
second innings. So when Pakistan were inching towards a draw, so he took that crucial wicket. So for that
yeah,
he deserved credit. So yeah,
yeah.
nine for
Nine
Wagner.
for him. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, really can't say much about New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, too good.
Too good.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, how they perform when they go away from home now. This
Yeah.
squad, I don't think they can go with these four fast bowlers away from home.
Yeah, I guess not.
Um,
I mean, maybe in a place like South Africa and Australia,
yeah,
they might do okay, but in even in England, I think you need a spinner. Um,
exactly.
Santner is a good option. He's a good all-round option. He's not an attacking spinner,
Yeah,
but then they've got the likes of Ejaz Patel, who is
yeah,
more of an attacking
because they went to
left-arm spinner.
Australia. They went to Australia last year and they got hammered, right? So
Yeah, they got hammered. Yeah, they got very badly hammered. Yeah.
exactly. So it's
So
really
I mean, this is
yeah,
the thing, right? It's very difficult to judge teams because India are now in Australia and they're doing decently for a
yeah,
team that has been ravaged by injuries
yeah,
and lost their captain to paternity leave. So they're doing decently well, and New Zealand went in with a full strength team and they got
yeah,
hammered. So
yeah.
it's very difficult to
And
like
then they've
judge
beaten they've beaten a
West
weakened
Indies.
Pakistan and they've beaten West Indies team, which again is very
Yeah,
inexperienced.
and they beat India at home, so we've got to give
Yeah,
them
true,
credit there. They beat
true.
India at home, you've got to give them credit. But again, at the end of the day, you're only as good as your overseas performances, I feel. Everyone's a king and a lion at home.
Yeah, true.
It's very difficult to perform overseas, so I tend to judge test teams on their overseas performances.
I agree. I agree. I agree. So, I mean, just to finish off, I guess, where do Pakistan go from here? They've got a series against South Africa coming up. We'll do
Yeah,
a preview of that, near to the time.
yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how the team changes. I hope Shan Masood gets a rest for a while.
Yeah, and
um,
then they prepare turning tracks and play two
yeah.
spinners, and that should be the end of it.
Yeah, I think they'll still have to. They'll still struggle to face Rabada and Norkia on even on those dead pitches,
Yeah,
as
maybe.
Pakistan is traditionally even when England used to come to UAE, Pakistan the biggest threat used to be Broad and Anderson
Yeah, true.
rather than the spinners. So
I
so it'll
mean,
be a
even,
good
even
series.
South Africa have got a good left arm spinner. Keshav Maharaj is
Yeah,
a pretty handy left arm spinner, so that he might be a tough proposition in Pakistan.
yeah. No, it'll be a good series to see. But hopefully Pakistan can actually make some big decisions now, and
Yeah,
not just give people a chance to inflate their averages in a home series, and actually
yeah,
take
yeah.
more longer term decisions.
I agree. I agree. Long-term decisions are important. No,
Yeah, if
no
Shan
short.
Masood plays again, he'll get 100 probably, on a dead track, and then he'll be back in the team. So
Yeah,
it doesn't really make sense.
yeah. No,
But I hope
agreed.
they learn.
Yeah.
So that's our show. Thank you for watching. Let us know if we've been too harsh on the Pakistan team, or if we've been too generous on the New Zealand team. But judging by the result of the series, there's not much more we could have done. Maybe, in my opinion, I think we were a bit too generous on a few Pakistanis. But anyways, let us know what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.